Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this Tuesday mountain weather update, and it's another big powder day across parts of the West. First stop, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, 24 inches in 24 hours. I always love saying that, but it's a big powder day for the Tetons. The resort saying 24 inches in the last 24 hours. I mean, this is like 50 inches plus in the last 5, 6, 7 days up there. Absolutely incredible up there at Jackson Hole. Let me take you to Loveland Ski Area, and this is in Colorado up on the Continental Divide, and they're reporting 15 inches in the last 24 hours. So you know it's going to be outstanding up there today. It's a very cold morning across parts of Colorado, and there's still a little bit of wind and residual snow out there. Let me take you up to Breckenridge. Snow continues to come down up here on the 10-mile range up in Summit County. I think they're reporting anywhere from 7 to 8, 9 inches in the last 24 hours, and you could still pick up additional accumulation. I mean, obviously, we're not done yet with that flow up there. Let me take you up to Big Sky, Montana. This is the Lone Peak Tram Cam reporting 7 inches, I think, in the last 24 hours, and then it was 9 yesterday in the last 24. I mean, so all these are big powder days for parts of the West. And it continued to snow in parts of the Wasatch on and off. Here's Solitude, several inches of new snow up there in the last 24 hours. I mean, it's a really good day. Here are my bullet points. So lingering snow today through this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow morning for some of these mountain ranges across the Intermountain West. Then the next actual storm system comes off the Pacific, hits the Pacific Northwest, 219, moves into the interior, 219, 220 through 221, affecting a lot of the same places. Utah, the Tetons, Idaho, Colorado, Wyoming. I mean, all these places are going to get hit again. And then what that's going to do is really open the doors for a moist Pacific and British Columbia flow. And it probably includes central and northern Idaho, northwest Montana as well, so with some spillover between 220 and 223, maybe even 224. Let me take you to, I want to take you to the radar here and show you what's going on. All right, here it is across the west. There is some light blue. It's hard to see. I mean, the flow is really efficient right now out of the west northwest. So we're just purely cranking out orographic snow at this point, waiting on the actual next storm system. Let me take you into Colorado. You can see what's left over. A lot of it's moving away on radar, but over the mountains and I-70 and north, it's that efficient west-northwest flow, and sometimes it tucks low and it hides from radar because radar is going to overshoot it since it's located in Denver. So then you've got the northeast here, some lake effect coming off Ontario, and then another storm system. You can see it approaching Indianapolis, parts of Kentucky. That storm will eventually kind of roll up the East Coast. Now, yesterday and the day before, it looked like it might go further to the north. Now it's kind of staying to the south, so I'm not sure we're going to see much of an impact at all, in fact, across Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. I think it's going to go a little further south, though. Okay, here's the setup across the west. So this is a water vapor satellite imagery, and on this, your oranges and reds are going to be your drier air at low levels. Your moisture's in your whites and your blues, and so there goes our storm system, moving out into the plains, pushing that snow into the Midwest and eventually East Coast. Now behind it, here comes the next storm system. This one will take that track into the Pacific Northwest, and then it's going to dive down into the interior, 219, 20, and 21. And yes, there is other activity behind this as well. But a lot of this is going to be directed up into the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia with that rich flow. Here's my snow timeline. Best odds of snow for Big Sky, the Wasatch, Tetons. You've got Colorado, interior BC, the Pacific Northwest, Tahoe, and the Northeast. I won't go through all these, but in the Wasatch, your next best shot, next storm system. You've got some residual snow today, but basically afternoon 219 into 220 for moderate to heavy accumulations. In the Tetons, some light to moderate snow today, and then moderate on 219 into 220. In Colorado, a little bit of leftover snow. And then your best shot is going to come in 219, 220 with that final storm system. Interior BC, I love this flow coming in 222, 223, 224. That looks particularly heavy at this point for a lot of the areas, including the Pacific Northwest, 221, 222, 223, and 4. So that's going to be a good one. All right, let's drill down on Alta, Utah. Here's the forecast mediagram, effective about 9,000 feet. So a tiny bit of residual snow today, but then here's the next storm system, 19 afternoon of 19 into 20. This generates about 6 inches of accumulation. It could be more. It could be more. I'm going up to 10 with this final storm system in the Wasatch, at Alta, Snowbird, Solitude, and Brighton. So winds begin to settle down and they kick back up with that next storm system. Temperatures today, colder, single digits and teens, and then it warms up with this next storm into the 20s. And then it's colder after that storm's passage. Okay, let's talk about Jenny Lake up there in Wyoming. So you've got snow continuing today, and then there's your next storm. This is effective about 8,700 feet, Jenny Lake area. Um, and then the next storm comes in afternoon 19 into 20. This generates about 8 inches. I think it could be up to 10. So for both the Wasatch and the Tetons, potentially up to 10 additional inches of snow coming. Winds today are gusty, up to 35, 40 miles per hour. Colder today, colder start tomorrow, but then warmer in the afternoon, looking like about 20 for the high, and then into the 20s on Thursday. Okay, let's look at the snow forecast over time. So on this particular map, we'll start it at lunchtime today. And remember, the light blues are going to be your light snow accumulation under 3 inches. The greens are going to be 3 to 6. Yellows are 6 plus. Reds are 10 plus. So there's your snow across the west. Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, and Colorado, spreading out into the plains. Okay, here's late today. There is lunchtime tomorrow. So you can see how that snow kind of goes towards the eastern seaboard, the Carolinas, Virginia. And then look to the west. This is late on the 19th. That's our next storm system, moving into the Pacific Northwest, BC, Idaho, clipping extreme northern California, Montana, moving into the Tetons, the Wasatch. Here's late on the 20th, sliding through Colorado. And then the flow shifts, and this is late on the 21st. Here's early on the 22nd. The flow shifts to favor the Pacific Northwest, parts of Idaho, northwest Montana, and BC. The Tetons get a little bit of additional snow there. This is late on the 22nd. And some of that actually spills down into the northern mountains of Colorado. Here's late on the 23rd. Look at all that snow up in BC. Love it. Here's late on the 24th. Things kind of dry up, but some additional snow and precip for the Pacific Northwest and BC. So you can kind of see how that works over the course of time. Okay, here's my official forecast. All of today through the 23rd. So 5 to 10 inches in the Wasatch. So up to 10 for Little and Big Cottonwood Canyons. Up in the Tetons, about 8 to 10 inches of additional snow between Grand Targhee and Jackson Hole. Up in Montana, the bigger numbers are up in the northwest sector of the state where we're going to see spillover from that rich Pacific Northwest flow. And in particular, in central and northern Idaho as well, 16 to 20 inches coming between Brundage and Schweitzer. Interior BC haven't really changed much here. 1 to 2 feet from Fernie up to Revelstoke, and some of that does spill down the hill into Sunshine and also Marmot Basin. Pacific Northwest, 1, 2, maybe 3 feet of accumulation up there into between 218 and 23. Very little snow for California. In Colorado, we still have snow yet to go, obviously, and I think a lot of it's going to be in the central to northern mountains, where we've seen most of it so far. Some places could see 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 inches of additional accumulation. Crested Butte, Aspen Snowmass, Vail down into Summit County, Loveland, A Basin, Winter Park, Keystone. A little bit more up there around Steamboat, Cameron Pass, Buffalo Pass. Less down in southern Colorado, but still could see a few inches of accumulation. Okay, up into the northeast, very light stuff. And again, that storm system over the next few days is largely going to stay south of the area. So what you're seeing here is just light accumulation. Some lake effect, a passing wave, a passing clipper, and that's about it. 1 to 3 inches for Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and New York. And that runs through the 23rd. All right, guys, we'll end on the big map here for the West. So some residual snow today, tonight, and then the bigger storm comes in after that. 219, 220, 221 for a lot of the Wasatch, Tetons, and also Colorado. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here. Always appreciate it. Stay safe out there and take care. Have a great day.